And now to Kitsap County, where Sheriff John Gese announced he is retiring effective June 26, just a couple of weeks away, alongside four other high ranking command staff members of the Kitsap County Sheriff's Office. Now, the abrupt departures are attributed to ongoing budget cuts and pension timing decisions because the Kitsap County Board of Commissioners did make some pretty significant cuts to the sheriff's office in 2025. There's been a lot of pressure on them as a result of that. So the sheriff, who originally planned to serve until the end of his term, is again stepping down early, and those four other command staff members at the same time all leaving. So it is a major blow to the sheriff's office, but we're asking questions about potential politics that could be at play here, as it's now the Kitsap County Democrats who will announce three potential nominees to be interim sheriff. So those three names will go then back to the Kitsap County Board of Commissioners, and they will make a decision on who that interim sheriff replacement is going to be. Now, Republican candidate for sheriff in Kitsap County is Rick Kuss, and I spoke with him about this morning. You may recall he was one of the plaintiffs who had to sue after Senate Bill 5974 took effect. That was the anti-sheriff bill, basically that would allow an unelected body to find reasons to remove elected sheriffs from office. Now, Rick Kuss has a lengthy military career, currently a deputy in the King County Sheriff's Department, but SB 5974 would have disqualified him from running. However, then a Thurston County judge got involved and basically put that measure on hold, seeing some potentially serious constitutional issues with it. So Rick Kuss got past that hurdle so he could continue his candidacy for Kitsap County Sheriff. But now there's this shakeup in the office that Kuss is seeking.
So I'm not surprised about the sheriff retiring because it's just that's how they do it in politics. The incumbent resigns to get a new incumbent in there of the same party, so they have the advantage. So I think everybody saw that coming. I think the surprise is the fact that how many people are leaving at the same time. And I've always been trained in leadership roles. When things get tough, you stick around to see it through. And so I'm really surprised that some people didn't delay their retirement. I understand that there's benefits of retiring before July financially, and I know there's personal things going on, but when things get tough, leaders step up and they need to be there to ensure continuity and provide leadership, except to the ranks as well. Like having a strong leader there to represent you through the tough times, not all just leaving. And so it's quite shocking, and I think the community and everybody outside the community is looking at Kitsap right now and just going, what the heck is going on?
Now, I reached out this morning to the Kitsap County Board of Commissioners about the sheriff's exit and what is next. And I received an email response from Kim Pleeger. Apologize if I'm not saying your name right, Kim. She's the communications director with the Kitsap County Board of Commissioners. She thanked me for reaching out and basically explained that the Washington State Constitution requires the Board of County Commissioners to appoint replacements for vacancies in any partisan county elected office within 60 days from the date of vacancy. The appointee must be a member of the same political party as the elected officer who previously held the seat. So now we have the Kitsap County Democratic Central Committee putting up those names. Now, what's interesting here is that at this point, there are only two candidates who filed for the upcoming November election for Kitsap County Sheriff. King County Sheriff's Deputy Rick Kuss, who you just heard from, and Detective Sergeant Brandon Myers. Now, Myers is a Democrat. And Kuss told me today he suspects that Myers may end up being the one that the Board of Commissioners appoints to be interim sheriff. Again, they're going to get three potential nominees from the Kitsap County Democratic Party to go to the Board of Commissioners. Rick Kuss thinks that one of those is likely to be his opponent in the race. So even though it's an elected position, he would still have to run in sheriff if run in November, I should say, if in fact he is appointed to that interim position. But is it perhaps an advantage to already be in that position as interim sheriff for several months before the November election? Does that give him maybe an edge in the eyes of voters, seeing him actually in the position of sheriff? Um, a fair question to maybe ask at this point. We're going to be watching this in the weeks to come. The Board of Commission person that responded to my email told me that by July 13th is when they expect to have the three names, but it could come even sooner. And then there will be some interviews and they'll make a decision. I promise we'll be watching that one as well. So that is a wrap on today's episode of Washington in Focus Daily for this Thursday, June the 11th. Tomorrow's a Friday. We're there again. Lots of sunshine. Hope you get a chance to get out and enjoy it. Check out our Center Square Washington page for these stories and more. And I hope to see you again tomorrow.